Hello, I'm Bob Weir with the Cross Timbers Gazette, and my guest today is Dianne Edmondson, who for the past 13 years has been the chair of the Denton County Republican Party. Ms. Edmondson has recently announced that she will not be seeking re-election. Instead, she'll be running for a seat on the Senate District 12 on the State Republican Executive Committee. Thank you for being here, Ms. Edmondson.
Well, thank you, Bob. It's a pleasure as always to be with you.
Now, your track record as county chair is very admirable. So, would you like to give voters some advice on what they should look for when voting for your replacement?
Sure. Thank you, Bob. That would be great. Well, the most important duty of the county chair, and the only one really required by law, is to run the Republican primary in Denton County. That's a statutory requirement, and it's very complicated. We have to secure polling sites. We have to secure election judges. We have to proof all the names on the ballot. There are just a myriad of duties that go with running the primary, and that is required by law. So it's very helpful if the person who is becoming county chair is familiar with those activities and perhaps has even helped and participated in them in the past.
Well, your record certainly shows that you know how to elect Republicans.
Well, yes, that was my job. When I started in the Republican Party, being a part of the party, not just a Republican, I was a precinct chair for a couple of years. And then when Richard Hayes became county chairman, he put me on the officers board. And so for about 6 years, I was mentored by Richard Hayes. And at that time, when he retired, he felt and I felt that I was ready to step up and ask to become county chair. And I did. And you're right, there were no Democrats elected after that. So,
well, how about in your new position, the one you're running for, state executive committee member, what are the duties of that position?
It's very similar, Bob, to the executive committee or the precinct chair committee here in Denton County and the other counties across the state. The job of the executive committee on either level is to oversee the budget. You have to approve the budget as presented by the chairman. You also have other responsibilities. For example, the State Republican Executive Committee, in case of a vacancy in the state chairman or vice chairman, that replacement is selected by the State Republican Executive Committee. Here in Denton County, if there would be a vacancy, if I would leave office early or, God forbid, die in office, then our executive committee here in Denton County would select my replacement. So it's similar duties, just on maybe a little bit larger scale, because there are only 62 members of the state executive committee, whereas here in Denton County we have more than 100 precinct chairs.
Really? And the position that you'll be leaving, that was not a salaried position?
No, it was not. Check with my husband if you'd like to get details.
And the one you're running for, is that salaried?
No, sir. No, these are all volunteer positions. Even the state chairman and vice chairman, who are all over the state doing good work all over the place, they receive no compensation for their time. These are volunteer positions.
Amazing, and a lot of time is put into these things,
yes.
too. What would we do without volunteers?
Well, we couldn't run the party without volunteers. My own personal volunteer time exceeds 40 hours a week easily. In fact, during election season and Reagan dinner season, it probably is closer to 60 hours a week. So without volunteers, we just couldn't have the party at the level that it is.
And how long is the term of the committee member?
The state executive committee term is for 2 years, and there is a limit of 4 two-year terms for a state executive committee member. Now, these are elected at the state convention as opposed by the voters in the primary. When I ran for county chairman in this upcoming election, it'll be on the March 1st primary ballot, and all the primary voters elected. The executive committee for the state is actually elected by the delegates from each senatorial district at our state convention.
Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you, what do you think is the most important issue facing the state of Texas?
There are several issues that I think are important, Bob, but I think in talking with people here in Denton County, and I think the same is true across the state, national security is very, very important. People are concerned about what is happening, not just in Paris, but what has happened here in the United States. They want our borders secured. They want us to really be on top of this enemy and defeat ISIS, these radical jihadists. people are concerned. Again, I'm sure you heard that just this morning, an entire school district
Right.
in California was shut down, over 900 schools, because of what was called a very credible threat. So I believe that's probably the most important issue. Let's face it, the proper role of government is the protection of the life and property of its citizens.
Yeah, I agree. And certainly there wasn't anything else they could do but shut the system down under circumstances like that, because no one wants to take a chance of harming children if something were to happen in that school district. But what's sad is that the terrorists may have found a way to shut down the system anytime.
Exactly, and isn't that a shame? Look what we have come to.
That's what we've come to,
Thanks
yeah.
to, frankly, the ineptitude and the inexperience of our president. That's a perfect example, Bob, of someone who didn't have any experience in governing, becoming the chief person in our country. And I think not just his left-wing radical agenda, but also his lack of experience, his lack of preparation for that job, have led us to where we are today. It's so important when you ask for a position, a public position or a party position, that you have the background, the credentials, the experience to do so correctly.
Well stated, yeah. And let me ask you, in this new position you're going for, do you have an opponent?
I don't know. No one has announced yet, other than myself. The current lady, Jean McIver of Frisco, is term limited. So it'll be an open seat, and it's possible that there would be someone else, but I have done my best to be prepared for this position. I've been actually going to the SREC meetings, State Republican Executive Committee meetings, for more than 2 years. I've actually sat on committees. They've asked me to help. I've been the liaison from the Republican County Chair Association to the State Republican Executive Committee. So again, just as I was mentored under Richard Hayes and was ready for stepping up to county chair, I think I'm ready now to step up to the State Republican Executive Committee. We'll just have to see if the state delegates from Denton County think so.
And if you are elected, where would you be working from?
I would be working primarily from my home, because while we have quarterly meetings in Austin to do the business of the party, it's my plan to meet with the constituents here in SD12. That would be part Tarrant County, mostly Denton County. I'd like to have what I'd call district meetings, where any Republican can come and visit about what's going on at the state level. I'd like to hear what people would like for me to be representing them on the State Republican Executive Committee to do. So while I'll be working from home base, I'll be all over the district and trying to meet Republicans and have a back and forth conversation.
Well, the biggest event of the year is coming up. I think it's the biggest event of the year. That's the
Yes, it is.
Lincoln-Reagan event. Could you tell us a little bit about
I
that?
would love to, Bob. Thank you so much. Well, it's our biggest fundraiser every year and is considered the best political dinner in all of North Texas, I think in the entire state. But we always have a great crowd, a great speaker, and this year we're so excited to have the former UN ambassador, John Bolton, as our major speaker. He's an expert on what's going on in the Middle East, and it will be a very interesting evening. And Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has asked to come and speak again. I think that's a testament to how important Denton County is in the election process in the state. Without Denton County being carried by a statewide candidate, that person will not win in Texas. So we're excited, and if anyone would like to know more about the dinner, buy a table, buy a ticket, donate a silent auction item, they can go to our website, www.dentongop.org, and we've got all the information on there.
Well, thank you very much, and everything that you said about the success in the county, much of it can be attributed to your leadership, and really appreciate you coming over for this interview, and good luck in your future endeavors,
Thank
Dianne.
you, Bob. It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure. And thank you for watching.